Hello and welcome. It's The Chat. I am Manny. My guest is one of those broadcasters of the early 70s into the 80s that a lot of modern broadcasters today refer to as ancestors. He is one of the group referred to as a limited edition. You don't find many of them around anymore. And we managed to get him on the program this week.
Ron Mgbatogu is a veteran radio broadcaster, a renowned voiceover artist, a thoroughbred media and marketing communication professional, and an old but fresh actor featuring in a highly cinematic Mnet series. Ron holds a diploma in mass communication from the University of Lagos. He began his journey into the media space in 1966 as a studio manager at the Nigerian Broadcasting Corporation, and then moved over to presentation of programs. He eventually landed a show named after him called The Ron Way. Just as his media career was about to take off, Ron resigned from radio broadcasting as a result of an experience during the 1976 coup d'etat. He joined Lintas, an advertising agency, and grew to the point of managing both national and global brand accounts. As a marketing communications professional, he held positions such as Director of Client Services at Low Lintas between 1978 and 1992. He also became the Managing Director of Merit Advertising, an agency that handled several international brands. He joined the elite NBC Network News Readers Group in 1983 and won the Announcer of the Year award in 1990. For his outstanding contribution to the industry, he received the NBC's Veterans Award in 2018. Recently, he featured in some Mnet series.
Can that be a threat, Madam Commissioner?
Your days are numbered.
Ron is the Director of Administration and Publicity of Nigeria's premier Christian non-denominational ministry for men, Discovery for Men. Ron Mgbatogu has been married for over 40 years, and the union is blessed with children and grandchildren.
Ron,
Thank you very much.
welcome to the program.
Thank you very much, Manny.
Ron Mgbatogu, if anyone didn't understand the language, don't speak that language, the name Mgbatogu, will sound as if it's a military order. Do you get many people mispronouncing your name, in those days in broadcasting?
Yes, certainly. And that is why in news reading, I took some time to say that here is the news read by Ron Mgbatogu. Just so that it has the right cadence.
How did you find your way into the broadcasting house?
Okay, that's a good question. I found my way into broadcasting in 1966 as a stopgap between higher school and university.
When did you join broadcasting? In 1966?
1966, yes.
Okay, but you left, in 1978.
12 years.
Why did you leave so early?
I left largely because of the coup of 13th February, because I was in broadcasting house that day. I came to read the news at 7 o'clock for Roslyn Obango then, now Roslyn Oguro. And I crossed over to the Voice of Nigeria studios to read the 7:30 news. And after finishing the 7:30 news in the blind studio, I came over to the continuity studio to drop the bulletin for updating and all that stuff. And while I was there, commentary was being played by Sam Uduma. And the big, heavy doors of the studio opened, and a guy walked in with an AK-47 in his hand, and it was reeking of alcohol, very clearly so. And he uttered 3 sentences or 3 statements. Any movement, you are dead. Be dead at home. Be dead at ease. And he was waving on his feet, even as he delivered those deadly statements. And that guy was Major Rabo. He eventually was killed in the premises that same day. So I thought to myself, after all of the drama of that day, that you could easily be killed in the line of your duty. And I didn't like that conclusion.
After coming from a civil war, isn't it?
Now you're putting it in context. You're putting it in proper context, that I just survived 30 months of the Civil War, an agonizing time. And I came in here doing my duty. And now I'm about to lose my life in the line of duty. No, that wasn't fun. So I quit.
A lot of people talk about you. I didn't meet you when you were there. Apparently you left before I came into broadcasting, but I heard so much about you. I mean, people would say, well, I mean, the nice things, to be honest. I mean, people would say you are a wordsmith. You know, if a station should go off air for 10 minutes, you could keep it going. With all the passion you have for broadcasting, you had to leave because of a military coup. I mean, I don't understand, you know, why you just only literally left, you know, because of that.
You mightn't appreciate it, but Manny, if I may tell you, I'm the last of 4 children.
It's now coming out.
Yes, and the only son of my parents.
Wow. Okay. Understandably too.
So I couldn't afford, you know, for some geezer to come and bump me off because I'm broadcasting. I mean, so I better prepare myself and take care of myself. I tell you what, you know, when the chairman of Lintas was trying to engage me, he sat behind his desk and said to me, looking at the last salary I earned from the NBC, what kind of a salary is this? The first time I was meeting him, and by the way, Mr. I.S. Mwemeke is he had not. But I took umbrage and said to him, no, I'm not here because of the salary. No, I wasn't there for salary. No, I was there because I just wanted to leave broadcasting. And that still remains my first love in life. But advertising is a different ball game. Still communications, but it's targeted communication, quantifiable communication. And that's what I found in advertising. That, you know, you could do communication, you could measure the communication and how effective or ineffective it is, which you couldn't readily do in broadcasting. So it was an exciting time for me too. And I spent a long time there too, from 1978 till I was 65.
The interesting thing, Ron, is that these days, you could find yourself still in front of a class of broadcasters doing your job, teaching them, you know, techniques of broadcasting. Because, I mean, obviously these days, there are not many coups coming around like when you were there.
Yes, you're right about that.
Is it a matter of regrets that you left then?
Not regrets, no. I tend not to regret anything I've done in the past. I just take a learning from it and move on. No, I don't regret leaving broadcasting when I did. I don't earn a pension from it, which is sad. I don't know what, some law that says, no, I didn't do more than 12 years, so I can't earn any pension, which is painful because I put a bit of my life into broadcasting. And I think, I did it reasonably well, so I should earn some old age money from it. But that's by the way. I don't regret it. I wished I could still contribute to broadcasting one way or the other. And I don't think I'll give up on that. Probably somebody will call me up, soon after seeing this program. They say, I heard you. What can you do for us? That will be fun. And I remember you and send you a bottle of beer.
Now tell me, when you have left advertising and left radio, how did you think about it? You didn't even think of going to television at any point?
Remember that when I was in broadcasting, Dr. Kolade was in charge of both radio and television.
Yeah.
So I took over a program on NTA called Lagos Scope.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, and I did that, I think for a quarter and a half or 2 quarters.
Thanks for reminding me. Thanks for reminding me. As a young guy growing up in those days, was one of those programs I religiously looked after,
Fine, so thank you. And I enjoyed it a lot. But then I'm essentially a radio person. I'm essentially a radio and ears person. So I think I liked radio a lot more than television,
Why?
Even though nowadays, why? Just the language, the fact that your listener is depending only on words, only on the power of your words, only on the imagery you are able to conjure up in his mind or her mind with your words.
What other things have you been deprived of by age?
Now, was that a naughty question or was that a genuine question?
No. Seriously, what else can you do these days? At 75, do you still hold your license, driver's license?
Yes, I do. I got it renewed 2 months ago. Yeah, I still do. Manny, when I turned 70, something dramatic occurred. I got drafted into acting.
I want the case wrapped up now. You see, suggesting that you turn state witness at a time like this may sound quite callous.
I got involved in a television production, but it's owned by Mnet. It's called Battleground.
At the time you were being drafted, if I were to use your words, did you think you were good at it?
Having spent my younger years watching too much television, watching too much cinemas, seeing all the epics in cinemas, all the Ben-Hurs, all the Julius Caesars, all of those big motion pictures. What young man didn't think that he had a bit of acting in him? I thought I had a bit of acting in me. So I think I just fitted in. And I was working with a crop of much younger people who were kind to me. And so didn't quite task me as they should have. So they allowed me to grow into it. It was very enjoyable, absolutely enjoyable.
And you did all of that and still left.
Now I'm hoping, Manny, I'm hoping that I never leave acting again. In other words, I'm here. I'm waiting for the next telephone call to come through. And for some work to come through. Let's go for two.
Right, so read the question.
Do I think that broadcasters are born or
Made.
they are made? I think broadcasters they're made. For as long as God has given us the ability to speak, then the ability to speak well is part of the making of a broadcaster. The ability to engage through the act of speaking is part of the making of a broadcaster. The ability to be effective in speaking is part of the making of a broadcaster. So I think the broadcasters are made.
Let's talk about, the politics of Nigeria today. I mean, we'll get into a little deeper into that because I know you're an Igbo man and you're married to a Yoruba woman. Are you not?
Yes, I am.
Because, the next thing that comes to my mind is those who are calling for separation, let's go our different ways. I remember I was talking to Ene Oloja, and she goes, we are such a mixed up people. It will be very difficult to ask us to go our different ways. I was married to a woman, a man from Rivers. My people are married to these people from Yoruba land and the rest of it. And that the mix is so much already. When people are asking such questions or making such statements, what comes to your mind?
It's pathetic. It's saddening that we've gotten to a level where we are even contemplating all of that. I lived through the war. I know what war is about. I know what a war can do. I know the damage it has done, not just physically, but psychologically, what is done to the spirit of people. It hasn't left us, which is why it's a shame that we are permitting ourselves to even begin to think of such a time when we can go our separate ways. I wouldn't say that it's impossible to go our separate ways. It would just be disastrous. It would be disastrous. I think that's a kind word to use to describe what it will do.
Is that personally or generally?
Generally. Though as you said, Enel Noja said, we're so mixed up. Yes, we've been together for far too long to now begin to think we can detangle ourselves. But nothing says it couldn't happen, because you can only push a people that far before something breaks. I was saying to somebody that it's painful to me that I'm in a country which is my country, and I have a feeling that the leadership of the country have wiped off my whole race in their minds, as if we do not exist, that we do not matter. Biden won in America. One of the very first statements he made is, I am the president of the United States of America. I'm the president for the Democrats, the president for the Republican. Whether you voted for me or you didn't vote for me, I am the president of every American. And therefore I will listen to every American. That's not the case as far as I can see it. And that's painful. And that's part of why people are saying, perhaps we should go our separate ways. And it's a sad thing that leadership hasn't drawn us from the brink of those kind of thoughts. And they are capable of doing so, but they, in my view, are refusing to do that. And that's painful.
Every time you wake up in the morning, what do you think about Nigeria?
Oh, I think Nigeria is such a great place that is not allowed to blossom.
Politics is one thing you didn't touch, it would seem, in all of your years now. Why?
I don't think I'm a political person. I'd like to vote when, at elections. And when I see people that I think I can entrust a bit of my life into their hands, I like to vote.
How do you meet your wife?
Oh, how did I meet my wife? Okay, that's I met my wife in the course of duty in broadcasting.
So you liked what you saw?
But it took a long time for us to get married. Very long time. It took 7 years.
Why?
Well,
you had not gathered enough money or what?
No. She's Yoruba, I'm Igbo. We have parents who are wondering, why must you marry Yoruba? Why must you marry an Igbo? So all of those hurdles you have to cross. As for whether...
So how did you cross them?
Time, you give time to it. No shotgun weddings. No.
How many children do you have?
We have 3 kids.
Okay. Is that it? The big guy is still active?
The big guy is, I thought I told you I was in retirement. I am in retirement.
Tell me what 5 things you take along with you.
Yeah, I like to take along, if it's permissible, my telephone.
Yeah.
But I also like to take along a Bible.
Yeah.
Books that will come from the 3 leaders of Nigeria, Nnamdi Azikiwe, Obafemi Awolowo, and Ahmadu Bello, just so that I can figure out why we got to where we are now from their writings. And then I love some music. I love to take some Miles Davis. I love to take, some of the older songs, and I also like to take some of the Nigerian songs. There's a guy called Johnny Drill, who I think is the son of my old colleague in Lintas, Joe Irodaro. I like to take some of his music. And I also like to take some of Benson Idonije's grandson's music, Burna Boy.
Oh, wow. That's interesting. You just won a Grammy.
He just won a Grammy, that's true. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then what would you be reflecting on in that period of 10 days while you're there?
I'll be reflecting on what kind of country Nigeria would be in the next quarter of a century. I'll be reflecting on how my last days on earth would be. And then I will be very thankful to God for how he has led me this far. A friend of mine used to say that, people have died for far less than I've gone through in life, and that's a fact. So for him to have kept me alive is for a purpose.
It's been fun having you. We'll do it again next time.
Thank you. Thank you.
And that's how it's been on the chat this week. My guest has been the great one and only Ron Mgbatogu, our ancestor of old. I am Manny. See you next time.